There's a manifestation technique so lazy that most people refuse to believe it works. No vision boards, no scripting, no 5 a.m. routines. In fact, the less you do, the faster money shows up. Sounds too good to be true? That's exactly why it works. Here's what nobody tells you about manifestation. Every technique you've ever learned is designed to make you feel like you're doing something. Because doing something feels productive. It feels like progress. The manifestation industry has convinced millions of people that attracting money requires effort, dedication, and a 47-step morning routine. But there's a problem. A big one. Every time you sit down to do a manifestation technique, you're unconsciously affirming one thing. I don't have money yet, so I need to do this to get it. The technique itself becomes evidence of lack. It's like trying to convince someone you're confident by telling them how confident you are every 5 minutes. The more you insist, the less they believe you. And more importantly, the less you believe yourself. This is why people can spend years doing techniques and see zero results. They're working incredibly hard at manifestation, but they're working from the wrong place. They're trying to get something they think they don't have. And the universe doesn't respond to effort. It responds to state. Think about everything you currently have in your life that you don't stress about. Your ability to breathe, your ability to see, maybe the roof over your head, maybe your phone, your clothes, your coffee in the morning. These things just exist. You don't affirm them into existence every day. You don't visualize having them. You don't script about them. They're just there. Natural. Normal. Boring even. That's the state we're going for with money. Now, here's the key insight that changes everything. Wealthy people don't do manifestation techniques. Have you ever noticed that? Elon Musk isn't scripting. Warren Buffett doesn't have a vision board. Successful entrepreneurs aren't waking up at 5 a.m. to visualize their bank accounts. They're just being people who have money. It's natural to them. And this is where the lazy method comes in, because it's not about doing more, it's about being different. Specifically, it's about borrowing the mental state of someone who already has money, without any of the work. The technique is called assumption without effort, and it has 3 parts. Each part takes less than 1 minute. Total time investment, under 3 minutes, done once. That's it. Part 1. The boredom test. Close your eyes and imagine checking your bank account right now. But here's the twist. Imagine seeing a large amount of money there and feeling nothing. Not excitement, not relief, not gratitude, just, oh yeah, that's there. Cool. The same way you'd feel checking and seeing your bed is still in your bedroom. It's supposed to be there, so you don't have an emotional reaction. This is crucial. Poor people get excited about money. Wealthy people are bored by it. Not because they're ungrateful, but because money is so normal to them that it doesn't trigger an emotional response anymore. It's like air. You don't celebrate every breath you take. Spend 30 seconds feeling financially bored. That's the entire first step. Part 2. The assumption installation. Now, still with your eyes closed, say this in your mind once. Money is normal for me. Not money will be normal for me. Not I'm trying to make money normal for me. Just money is normal for me. Present tense. Fact. Done. You're not convincing yourself. You're not affirming. You're just stating something the same way you'd state, the sky is blue or water is wet. No emotional charge. No trying. Just a simple statement of what is. That's 10 seconds. Part 3. The amnesia protocol. This is the most important part, and it's where most people fail. After you've done steps 1 and 2, you completely forget you did them. You don't think about money for the rest of the day. You don't check your bank account. You don't do any other manifestation techniques. You don't tell yourself, it's working, or I'm manifesting. You literally act like you never did this technique at all. Why? Because the moment you start monitoring for results, you're back in lack. You're back in waiting for money to show up, which means you're operating from, I don't have it yet. The technique only works if you install the assumption and then move on with your life completely. Here's why this works when nothing else does. Your subconscious mind is always listening. It's always scanning for what you believe is true. And it doesn't judge whether something is good or bad. It just looks for consistency. When you do intense manifestation techniques every day, your subconscious gets confused. It thinks, wait, if we already had money, why would we need to do all this work to get it? Clearly we don't have it. Better keep the current reality in place. But when you casually assume something is true once and then forget about it, your subconscious goes, oh, okay. That must be a fact then, because they're not even thinking about it anymore. Facts don't need attention. Let me adjust reality to match this. It's like planting a seed. If you plant a seed and then dig it up every day to check if it's growing, you'll kill it. But if you plant it, water it once, and then forget about it while you go live your life, it grows automatically, underground, in the background, without you doing anything. Money works the same way. The less attention you give it after setting the intention, the faster it grows. But here's where most people screw this up, and I'll show you exactly how to avoid the 3 fatal mistakes in a moment. But first, you need to understand why this technique is so controversial. See, there's a reason the manifestation industry doesn't teach this method. It's too simple. You can't sell a $997 course on a technique that takes 60 seconds and requires you to do nothing afterward. There's no upsell opportunity, no advanced level, no monthly membership. You just do it once and forget about it. That's terrible for business, but incredible for actually manifesting money. And here's the part that's going to sound insane. This technique doesn't just work for money. It works for everything. But we'll get to that later. Right now, let's talk about why your brain is probably fighting this. Your logical mind is screaming right now, this is too simple. There's no way this works. I need to do something. And that resistance? That's exactly the problem. That's the same energy that's been blocking money from showing up in your life. Think about it. When have you ever forced something to work by overthinking it? Relationships? Nope. The more you try to force someone to like you, the more they pull away. Sleep? The harder you try to fall asleep, the more awake you become. Creative ideas? They come in the shower, not when you're sitting at your desk, desperately trying to think of something brilliant. Money is the same. It shows up when you're not strangling it with effort. But here's what your brain doesn't understand yet. There's a massive difference between doing nothing and assuming everything is already done. Most people hear stop trying and think it means give up. It means stop operating from lack. Stop acting like someone who needs money. Start being someone who has it. And the way you become that person isn't through effort. It's through a single moment of assumption, followed by total amnesia about the whole thing. Now, you might be thinking, okay, but how do I know it's working if I'm not supposed to think about it? Great question. And here's the answer. You don't need to know. In fact, the moment you start monitoring for results, you've already killed the manifestation, because monitoring means you're looking for something you think isn't here yet. But let me give you something that'll help your logical mind relax. There are subtle signs that this is working, but you'll only notice them if you're not looking for them. It's like peripheral vision. The moment you try to look directly at something in your peripheral vision, it disappears. But if you just go about your day, you'll catch glimpses. The signs look like this: random thoughts about money that don't stress you out. Unexpected opportunities that you would have missed before because you were too busy doing manifestation techniques. Conversations that naturally lead to financial topics. People offering you things without you asking. Old payments showing up. New ideas for income streams that feel obvious and easy. None of these are dramatic. They're subtle. They're natural. They feel like coincidences. And that's exactly how you know it's working. Because real manifestation doesn't feel like manifestation. It feels like life just working out. All right, here are the 3 mistakes that will completely destroy this technique. Avoid these at all costs. Mistake number 1. Doing it more than once. This sounds backwards, but doing the technique repeatedly is a sign you don't believe it worked the first time. It's like sending a text, then sending it again 5 minutes later, then again 10 minutes after that. You're not reinforcing the message. You're revealing your doubt. Do it once. That's it. If you feel the urge to do it again, that's your ego trying to control the outcome. Resist it. Mistake number 2. Talking about it. The moment you tell someone, "I'm trying this new manifestation technique," you've activated your ego. Now you're invested in being right. You're invested in proving it works, which means you're monitoring for results, which means you're back in lack. Keep it to yourself. Completely. No Instagram stories about it. No texting your friend. Nothing. Let it be a secret between you and the universe. Mistake number 3. Combining it with other techniques. This is the biggest one. People can't help themselves. They do this technique and then they think, well, maybe I should also do some scripting just in case. And maybe a vision board wouldn't hurt. Stop. You're hedging your bets, which means you don't actually believe the technique works. Pick one. Commit. Forget about it. That's the entire game. If you do any of these 3 mistakes, you're not doing the lazy method anymore. You're back to the exhausting, effortful, lack-based manifestation that doesn't work. Now, I told you earlier that this technique works for everything, not just money. And in a minute, I'm going to show you exactly how to modify it for specific situations: job offers, business opportunities, unexpected windfalls, whatever. But first, you need to understand the deeper principle at play here. Because if you miss this, you'll just turn this into another technique that doesn't work. The real secret isn't the 60-second exercise. The real secret is what happens in your nervous system when you stop trying. And once you understand this, you'll realize you've had the power the entire time. You've just been using it backwards. Here's what's actually happening when you do this technique. You're hacking your nervous system. Your nervous system has 2 modes: sympathetic, stress, effort, survival, and parasympathetic, rest, ease, trust. Most people try to manifest from sympathetic mode. They're stressed about money, so they do techniques which keeps them in stress, which reinforces the lack. This technique forces you into parasympathetic mode. When you assume money is normal, feel bored about it, and then forget about it, your nervous system goes, "Oh, we're safe. We're not in survival mode. Money must not be a threat or a scarcity, so we can relax." And here's the wild part. Your external reality is a direct mirror of your nervous system state. When you're in sympathetic mode, stress, you attract stressful situations. When you're in parasympathetic mode, ease, you attract easy solutions. Money doesn't show up because you worked hard for it in your mind. Money shows up because your nervous system is in a state that allows it. All right, let's make this practical. Here's how to customize the lazy method for specific money situations. And yes, you still only do it once. For a specific amount of money, don't visualize the number. Numbers trigger your logical brain, which triggers doubt. Instead, feel what that amount of money would give you. Freedom, security, options. Feel that state for 30 seconds. If you need $5,000 for rent, don't imagine $5,000. Imagine the feeling of rent being handled. Boring, normal, done. For a job offer or client, same principle. Don't imagine the interview or the pitch. Imagine it's already done and you've moved on mentally. Feel the calm of, "Oh yeah, I start Monday," or "Yeah, that client signed? Cool." Zero excitement. Pure normalness. Then forget about it and keep living your life. For unexpected money, this one's interesting because you can't predict where it'll come from, which is perfect, because trying to control the how is what blocks most manifestations. Just assume money finds me in unexpected ways. Feel that for 30 seconds. Not excited anticipation, just matter-of-fact knowing. Like knowing the sun will rise tomorrow. Then, drop it completely. The pattern is always the same: assumption without emotion, followed by total amnesia. That's it. That's the entire method, regardless of what you're manifesting. Now, here's what's going to happen. A day will go by, maybe 2 days, maybe a week, and your ego is going to start screaming, "See? Nothing's happening. This doesn't work. You need to do something else." This is the critical moment where most people fail. They get impatient, they start doing other techniques, they start monitoring their bank account, they start asking the universe, "Where is it?" And the moment they do that, they've collapsed the manifestation. Here's what you need to understand. The manifestation is happening the moment you assume it, not when you see evidence of it, not when the money hits your account. The moment you assume it's done in consciousness, and physical reality is just catching up. Think of it like ordering something online. The moment you click purchase, the order is confirmed. You don't refresh the tracking page every 10 minutes going, "Where is it? Is it moving? Why isn't it here yet?" You just go about your life knowing it's coming. You might check once or twice out of curiosity, but you're not panicked. You're not doing additional ordering techniques to make it arrive faster. You trust the process. Money manifestation works the same way. You place the order with one assumption, then you trust it's on the way. Checking constantly doesn't make it arrive faster. It actually delays it because you're operating from, "I don't have it yet." But here's the paradox that'll blow your mind. You're not actually waiting for anything, because in the state of assumption, you already have it. You're just continuing to live your life while reality rearranges itself to match your inner state. This is why the technique is called lazy. You're not waiting. You're not monitoring. You're not tracking. You're just being someone who has money. And people who have money don't obsess about money. They don't check their bank accounts constantly. They don't do daily manifestation techniques. They just live their lives, make decisions from abundance, and money shows up, because that's what happens when you're in that state. The moment you find yourself thinking, "When will it show up?" you've dropped out of the state. The correct internal response is, "It's already done. I'm just going about my day," not as an affirmation you repeat, just as a fact you know. And if doubt creeps in, don't fight it. Don't do the technique again. Just notice the doubt and think, "Interesting. My ego is scared because I'm changing states. That's normal." Then redirect your attention to literally anything else. Make coffee. Watch a video. Text a friend. The fastest way to dissolve doubt is to stop giving it attention. Here's the real secret that nobody talks about. Manifestation isn't about getting something you don't have. It's about recognizing what's already yours in consciousness and letting it materialize. Everything you could ever want already exists. Every dollar, every opportunity, every success. It's all already here in potential form. The only thing keeping it in potential instead of actualized is your state, your identity, your assumption about who you are and what's normal for you. Poor people do manifestation techniques to get money. Wealthy people already are wealthy in consciousness. The bank account is just a reflection. And here's the kicker. You don't need to actually be wealthy to have a wealthy consciousness. You just need to assume it once and then live from it. This is why the lazy method works when everything else fails. It bypasses all the doing and goes straight to being. And being always comes before having. Always. You can't out-technique a poverty mindset, but you can shift your state in 60 seconds. Forget about it, and let reality catch up. So here's my challenge to you. Don't believe me. Don't take my word for it. Don't even think this will work. Just try it. Once. Tonight before bed. Do the 60-second technique exactly as I described. Feel financially bored for 30 seconds. Say, "Money is normal for me," once. Then forget you ever did it. No monitoring, no other techniques, No telling anyone. Just live your life for the next week and see what happens. If nothing happens, you lost 60 seconds. If something does happen, even something small, like finding $20 or getting a random refund or having someone buy you coffee, you'll realize that you've had this power the entire time. You were just using it backwards. You were trying to get instead of assuming you already have. And once you realize that, everything changes. Not because the universe suddenly likes you more, but because you finally stopped blocking what was always trying to reach you. Money isn't coming to you. It's already yours. You're just finally letting yourself have it. Try it tonight. Let me know what happens. I hope you enjoyed this video. See you in the next one.